Ah, the dream of touring. Hitting the open road, playing for new fans every single night. It's what every musician strives for, right? From the outside, it looks like this incredible rolling party that somehow pays for itself. But what if I told you that for most artists, that dream is actually a super fast track to debt? Let's get into the real economics of it.
So, is packing up that van really a ticket to riches? I mean, that's the big question every band asks themselves. You might be surprised to hear that, for most, the road to riches is actually paved with some pretty serious losses. Let's break down exactly why.
Because here's the hard truth. For most up-and-coming artists, touring isn't a profit engine. It's a money pit. Yeah, that glamorous adventure you see all over social media, in reality, it's a huge financial risk. And way too often, it's a risk that just doesn't pay off.
So, first things first. We have to dismantle what I like to call the touring myth. This is this idea that's baked into the music industry that just being on the road automatically means you're making money. The most important mental shift you can make is to see your first few tours for what they really are, a marketing expense, not a revenue stream.
So why is the deck kind of stacked against you from the start? Well, it begins with the guarantee. That's the flat fee a venue promises to pay you. And a lot of the time, that guarantee won't even cover your gas for the day. So while you've got this tiny check coming in, you have a flood of money going out for hotels, food, and paying your crew. Throw in some inefficient routing, maybe some surprise cuts from the venue that you didn't see coming, and you suddenly realize you're not on a business tour, you're on a very expensive exposure tour.
To really get this, we need to put on our accountant hats for a second and look at a tour's real balance sheet. It's actually a pretty simple story of two columns: money coming in and money going out. The big challenge is that for most artists, that money out column is almost always longer, and it grows a whole lot faster.
Okay, so let's talk about the good stuff first. Where is the money actually coming from? You've got your guarantees and door deals from the venue. Then there are the things you can control a bit more, like VIP packages and sponsorships, but I want you to pay very close attention to that one right there: merchandise sales. As you're about to see, it's the secret weapon in this entire equation.
And just as quickly as that money comes in, boom, it vanishes. Every single dollar you spend on gas, on a cheap motel, on food for your crew, on renting gear, it's all just draining from your wallet. Here's the stark reality. If your guarantee for the show doesn't cover the gas to get there and a bed for the night, you are losing money before you even play the first note. All right, let's put some real numbers to this to make it tangible. Imagine you're playing a 200-capacity room, and you sell 120 tickets at $20 a pop. Great, that's $2,400 gross. The venue takes its cut, so you're left with about $1,680. Then, after your daily costs, gas, hotel, food, you walk away with $1,150. That feels pretty good, right? A decent night's work? But what if I told you the most important transaction of the night hasn't even happened yet?
This, my friends, is where the whole game changes. For a developing artist, the single most powerful tool for flipping a tour from a financial loss into a win isn't the ticket scanner at the door. It's the little credit card reader at the merch table.
Just look at this comparison. Seriously, that bar on the left, that $1,150 profit, that came from all the work of marketing the show and getting 120 people to buy tickets. Now look at the bar on the right. That represents an extra $400 in pure profit, something you could earn in just 30 minutes after your set ends. Let me show you how simple the math is.
Okay, so your set is over. The crowd loved it. You sold 120 tickets, but let's say about 100 people are still in the room buzzing from the show. Right now, those 100 people are your target market.
Now, if you put on a killer show, a pretty solid industry benchmark is that about 20% of the crowd will hit the merch table. So that means 20 of those 100 fans are walking over, wallet in hand, ready to buy something.
And let's say the average person spends about $30. You know, a t-shirt, maybe a vinyl. With 20 people buying, you've just generated an extra $600 in gross revenue. Just like that. And here's the best part. After you pay for the cost of the merchandise itself, let's call it $200, that leaves you with $400 in pure, cold, hard profit. And that right there is the key. Merch isn't just a bonus, it is the financial engine that can single-handedly turn a money-losing night into a profitable one.
So when does the scale finally tip? You know, at what point does touring stop being this expensive marketing campaign and start becoming a legitimate, profitable business? Well, there's a clear threshold. Let's define it.
This slide really shows the two different worlds of touring. Over on the left, you've got the grind. You're playing for tiny guarantees to small crowds and just hoping you sell a few shirts. But on the right, that's where you want to be. Your guarantees are in the thousands, you're selling 200 to 500 tickets a night, and your merch table is a predictable, reliable profit center. Getting from the left side to the right side, that is the goal.
Okay, so if you remember only one thing from this entire explainer, please make it this rule of thumb. I call it the revenue rule. To be safely profitable, your tour's gross revenue has to be at least double its total cost. Let me say that again. If you're going to spend $10,000 to be on the road, you shouldn't even leave your driveway unless you can confidently project at least $20,000 in revenue coming in. That's your safety net.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem and we've defined the goal. Now let's get tactical. How do you actually build a tour that makes money? Well, here is a 7-step playbook to make it happen.
This whole playbook is about being smart and disciplined. First, route your shows in tight geographic clusters. No more zigzagging across the country burning gas. Second, instead of a draining month-long tour, start with profitable weekend runs. 3, make your local opener a strategic partner to help pull in their fans. 4, and this is the big one, treat your merge table like it's the main event, not an afterthought. 5, keep your crew lean. Every extra person is a major expense. 6, you have to track every single dollar. Use an app, a spreadsheet, whatever, no exceptions. And finally, number 7, resist that temptation to scale up to a bigger van or nicer hotels until the profits tell you it's time.
So as we wrap this up, the fundamental question you have to ask yourself is this: is your next tour a business, or is it just a really, really expensive marketing campaign? I want you to be honest with your answer, because how you answer that question will define not just your journey on the road, but the long-term sustainability of your entire career as an artist.